Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is our final project. So this final project is question type in English test. The final project is to fulfill subject workshop instrument evaluasi pembelajaran. This final project presented by Sabrina Megamelina as editor and dubbing, Desi Arfia as conceiver, Yoga Hergiana as scriptwriter. We are from A3 2017 English Education Study Program. Let's go to the material. Question type in English test. Before we are going to the material, you have to know how many question type in English test. There were 9, 8 plus 1, special 9. First one is multiple choice, second one is matching, third one is gap filling, then true false, transformation, error correction, closed procedure or closed passage, then open questions, and the last one is rearrange sentences. Okay, let's go to the material. Before that, you have to know what are common verbs in English language test that we use. This is the example of the common verb in English that we use. In the multiple choice, we have circle, underline, select, choose, and check. Then in gap filling, we have fill in gaps, add complete hint. Then error correction, we have correct, rewrite, check, error. Then true false, mark, decide if, circle T or F and underline the statement true or false. Then matching, match blah 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 in correspond blah blah blah. And in transformation, we have do a sound in or change blah 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 into blah 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 or transform blah 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 into blah blah blah. And then rearrange sentences, we have reorder, rearrange, rewrite, put blah 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 into the correct blah blah blah. Then the last one, open question, we have answer in short blah blah blah. Then let's go to the first question type. This is multiple choice questions. This is from objective assessment, which respondent just select correct answer. This is the common verb of multiple choice: select, choose, underline, and check. We have example, and the instruction is choose the best answer A, B, or C and give a cross. You have to give a cross if the question true. Where is the true questions? The question is, what is the purposes of narrative text? A. To entertain, B. Describing something, C. To do something. And the answer is to entertain, and you have to cross an A. Every question has advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of this question are easy to score. With the use of computer technology, the answer can be read by machine or people. Then multiple choice question tests a wide range of higher order thinking skill. Then the advantages of this question is multiple choice questions are difficult to construct and very time consuming to create. It is still possible for students to just guess without knowing the correct answer. So this question very consuming time if you want to create this one. Then the second one is matching. Matching text consists of a series of questions and series. Matching text consists of a series question and a series of answer. Each question must be answered. The student thus is to find and answer the question according to or in accordance with the question. This is the common verb match blah 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 in column up. This is an example. Don't forget to put the instruction. This is the instruction. Match the word on the left to the word with the opposite meaning. In the column A, this is the question, and in column B, this is an answer. So we have to find the opposite meaning of column A. The first one is black. The opposite meaning of black is C, white. Then tall is A, short, and the third is big is small. The advantages of this question is efficient from is given where a group of response is equally adapted to the sequence of content of the problem, and reading and responding time is relatively short. It is also easy to make it easy to score. Then the disadvantages of this question is difficult to arrange questions that contain a number of homogeneous responses, too many answers to choose from, then difficult to find pairs that are relevant to the problem, only limited material that memorize or recall, and if you have missed a few, you can guess. Then the next is gap filling. Gap fills can be used to test a variety of areas such as vocabulary, grammar, and are very effective at testing listening for specific words. This is the common verb for this question. Fill in gaps, add, complete, fill in blanks. This is the example. Common verb instruction for this question is complete the following sentences using past tense. The question, I blah 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 only used last week. In this question, by is verb 1, but in this question the instruction is using past tense. We have to change this verb 1 to verb 2. Verb 2 of by is both, and this is the good answer. This type of task is easy to mark and relatively easy to write. Cheating is likely to be more difficult and useful for assessing recall. The disadvantages for this question is the teacher must bear in mind too that in some cases there may be possible correct answer. Then often difficult to write questions that have only one correct answer. The third is sometimes the words omitted make it difficult to understand the meaning of the sentence. Next question is true-false questions. The questions are in the form of statement. So the true-false question is full of statement. These statements are true and some are false. Maybe true or false in one sentence. The person asked is tasked with marking each statement by circling the letter T if the statement is true in his opinion, and circling the letter F, the statement is wrong. So you just circle T or F if the statement true. For T, if the statement false, you circle F. This is the common verb. Statement true or false. Decide if blah blah blah, circle T or F and underline. This is the example of the question. Decide if the statement is true or false. The question is simple present tense used for daily life. It is true or false. You have to circle the best answer. And the advantages of this question is this is easy to score. Then the second one is this problem is good for resolve where there are only two alternative answers. The third one is the demands are less emphasized on reading ability. It is not difficult to determine the respective answer. The disadvantages. The first is guessing can result in many correct answers. The best way to counteract guessing result in many correct answers. The best way to counteract effective to have a lot of items. Second one is unable to measure analytical skill, and the last is not suitable for a matter of calculation. Next is transformation questions. Transform questions are particularly effective for testing grammar and understanding a form. So it is good for testing your grammar. If you want to increasing your grammar skill, you can fill the transformation questions. This is the example of the common verb. Do a show in parentheses. Change the following sentence into blah blah blah. We have to change the sentences. Example, change the sentence below into indirect speech. This is direct speech. He said we worked hard. So we have to change this sentence to indirect speech. This is the answer. We have to change this verb work to verb do. So this is the answer. He said that they worked so hard. The advantage of this question is this type of task is fairly easy to mark also. Disadvantage is this wouldn't be appropriate question type if your skills such as reading or listening want to test. This is not good for if you want to increasing your skills such as reading or listening. If you want to increasing your listening or reading, you can do the exercise at the question. Do the exercise at the question of gap filling or fill in the blanks. Next is error correction. Error correction must be found and corrected in a sentence or passage. It could be an extra word, mistakes with verb form, or word missed, etc. This is the common verb. Correct, rewrite, check, find the mistakes. This is the example. Find the incorrect word and change it to a correct sentences. This is the questions. She bought an apple at the market yesterday. The adverb of time in the sentence is yesterday. This is past tense. And the verb, this is verb 1 or present tense. So the incorrect or this verb is false. So we have to change this verb to verb 2 because the past tense we have pattern, subject, verb 2 plus object. This is the best answer. She bought an apple at the market yesterday. The advantages. This is good for testing grammar and vocabulary as well as reading and listening. Disadvantages. One problem with this question type is that some error can be corrected in more than one way. Then, closed procedure or closed passage questions. Closed procedure is different with the gap filling. closed procedure tests look similar to complete or blank filling tests, but they are different. Procedure and fill in the blank are different. In fill in the blank test, the word for deletion are selected subjective, consisting largely of structural word in grammar tests and key content word in vocabulary or reading tests. But in class procedure tests, however, the words are deleted systematically, especially with we use machine for deleting the word. This is the common verb, fill in gap, add, complete, and hint. This is the example. We have the blank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have to think one of word that fits best in each blank. The advantages of this question is applying the correct word for a blank does imply an understanding of context and a knowledge of the word and how it. The function of this question is make the close technique a very useful technique to use in language tests. The advantages of this question: the score obtained by the student depend on the particular word that have been deleted, rather than on their general knowing or the L2. Second one is some items are more difficult to supply than others. Then in some cases, there may be several possible answers. Next is open questions or short questions. Here the candidate must answer simple question after reading or listening or as part of an oral interview. The function of this question is these question types are very useful for testing any of the four skills but less useful for testing grammar or vocabulary. This is the common verb sort in and answer in short. The example, answer the question. The question, describe the differences between narrative text and descriptive text. You have to answer this question below the question. Describing the differences narrative text. Narrative text is blah blah blah, and descriptive text is blah blah blah. The advantages for this question is easy to do. Then possibility of guessing an answer is very difficult and suitable for calculation problem. Then the result of knowledge can be widely measured and it can be used to test anything. Disadvantage of this question is not suitable for measuring complex learning outcome. And if the answer is open-ended, it will be more difficult and time-consuming to score. Next is the last one. Last one is rearranging sentences. Rearrangement questions are of two types. The first one is rearrangement, and rearrangement questions are of two types. The first one, rearrangement, sentences, and passage rearrangement. In sentence rearrangement, we are given a sentence whose words or group of words are jumbled, and we have to make a meaningful sentence out of it. This is the common verb. Reorder, rearrange, rewrite, put blah 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 in the correct order. This is an example. Arrange this word into a good sentence. We have two questions. The first one is positive sentence and the second one is interrogative sentence. If the question is positive sentence, you have to put the subject in front of the sentence. Then to be And then the last one is object. But if the question are interrogative sentence, you have to put to be in front of the sentence, then subject, also object, and don't forget to put the question mark after that or in the last of sentence. The advantage of this question is a sort of control writing. Second is develop student answer of sentence and paragraph structure. The disadvantages give a teacher change for guessing and limit student creativity. Okay, the conclusion of this question. First of all, the question is good for testing student grammar, vocabulary, also reading. But every question has an advantages and disadvantages. But overall, this assignment makes us know more about question type in English test. Thank you. Thank you to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His mercy and giving us full strength to complete this assignment. Then I would like to thanks to our beloved lecturer Yamati Absari who guided us in this assignment. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.